Hello YouTube, this is the second take on the video because the last one took freaking like almost half an hour. So I'm just going to make this short and, well, not short and sweet. That sounds kind of sexual, but I hope it doesn't. Anyway, this is the video on how to, this is a video on, actually, this is a video on my, ooh, that's neat. Ooh, you can see the little particles of dirt on my lens. But this is a video, this first video is just my games, the games that I own. And my username is Android328i. And this is just the games that I have, in my opinion of those games, and my opinion of other games probably. So, you can see right down there, no, ooh, I'm not using a tripod because tripods are for pussies. This is going to contain a lot of swearing, by the way. But there I am, holding the camera, and I'm going to wave. Okay, so now I have control. Whoop, wait a second. Now I have control. No, wait. It's kind of weird because I'm having okay. So now I'm having control right now, just with this hand right here, with my left hand. So let's go. This is badass. Oh my god. You know, I don't care what people say about the sex toy PlayStation Move. I don't like it compared to this, because at least this one doesn't have a controller. So I'm just going to set this thing down on the table and autofocus it. There we go. Okay. Oh man. Come on. Okay, that's probably good enough. So now it's recognized me. Wait for the kinect. Okay, so this is pretty badass. This kicks the Wii in its ass. This kicks the PlayStation Move in its taint, in my opinion. You can call me a hater for PlayStation. I don't really have anything against it. I had a PS2. It was a great system until it blew up on me, and I had to throw it out the window into the lake. But that's why I didn't decide to get a PlayStation 3. I just wanted an Xbox. I preferred an Xbox. Ooh, that's friends. No, didn't want to do that. I wanted to go. There we go. I wanted to go to my games selection thingamafuck. So here we go. There I am. These are the games that I have, the achievements. Okay, completed games. I only have Battlefield 1943, I think it's called, completed. 100% completed because I have all the achievements. So the first game I'm going to talk about is Midnight Club LA. This game is really good, in my opinion. Anything made by Rockstar, pretty much, except for that ping pong game, and probably a couple others, including Liberty City Stories and Vice City Stories, which was pretty good for a handheld. So I'm not going to say that it's bad, but I haven't played it. But it looks pretty good for a handheld, but I don't really like it in terms to the controls that I've heard about. But I'm not going to talk too much more about that because I don't own that, and I don't want to make any bad assumptions and look like a noob fat ass, even though I'm not fat, so I'm just going to look like an ass. Anyway, Midnight Club LA, very good game, very, 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 very good game. If you're into cars and into customizing, and into Rockstar and really good music for this, in my opinion, this is a really awesome game. Definitely worth it. It's cheap right now. You can download it you can download it online. Very, very, very awesome game, and definitely recommend it. Look at the videos, it's pretty cool. You can race bikes, cars, stuff like that in LA. Real bikes, real cars, not like Grand Theft Auto with fake stuff, of course, but very good game. Definitely recommend it. I give this game an 8 out of 10. Mass Effect. Oh, do not get me started on Mass Effect. This game is my second favorite game. Mass Effect is a badass game. Why? Because the story is very, 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 very good, very well thought out, and it's a role-playing game. So I really, really like Mass Effect. Very immersive. The characters are top-notch. The acting is top-notch. The story is top-notch. and you can transfer all the decisions that you've made from the first game into the second game and into the third game, and I will definitely be buying the third game. Another reason why I don't like the PlayStation 3 is that they only had Mass Effect 2. The Mass Effect 1 was an interactive comic bullshit that wouldn't allow you to play the first game and actually immerse yourself even better. So you actually just read a comic, and I didn't like that. Some people prefer that probably, but then those people probably haven't played the first game. And if they have, and they didn't like the first game, and they just want to get the decisions made quickly, then you can play it on the PlayStation, whatever. I prefer the whole gaming experience to have the maximum hours out of your gameplay. This is a very good game. Gameplay is decent. It's not the greatest, but just because of the story, I give this game a 9 out of 10. The gameplay isn't perfect. I wish it was better, but it's not that bad. It's not terrible. It's very playable. Dragon Ball Raging Blast 2, a very good fighting game. I love fighting games that are over the shoulder like this one or Tenkaichi 3. Fighting games like Tekken, which I'll get into in a second, I don't like. I hate the fighting games that are just, you stand back and forth and that's it. You can't really go free roam. You can't walk around. This is a very good game for that. Ultimate Tenkaichi looks badass. Some people say it's too many cutscenes. I think it looks badass. I think that's what the anime should have looked like. But I love Dragon Ball, by the way. You should, if anybody hasn't heard of it, you should check out Dragon Ball Multiverse online. It's an unofficial sequel to Dragon Ball Z before the shitty-ass GT came in. And it's pretty good to read. Battlefield Bad Company 2, an awesome shooter. This is my favorite shooter that I own right now. Very, very, very awesome shooter. Story mode, it's pretty solid. Not great, you know, it's not long, but at least the voice acting and characters are lovable, you know, somewhat generic. At least you have the hippie pilot, he's really funny. And very good game. Love Battlefield. I haven't played Call of Duty, and I probably won't. I might try it out, but I won't say anything bad or good about Call of Duty because I have not played it. But Battlefield Bad Company 2 is an awesome game. Grand Theft Auto 4, very awesome game. Grand Theft Auto is one of the best series I've ever played, next to Mass Effect, in terms of fun. This game is so much fun. I will tell you that right now. You can do a lot of shit in this game. And Grand Theft Auto 5 is coming out, and that's going to be in San Andreas, and that is my all-time favorite Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. The map is amazing, and you can do a lot of shit. So I hope Grand Theft Auto 5 will not be disappointing. I only have the episodes of Liberty City because my original Grand Theft Auto 4 was, the disc got totally fucked up, and after learning that lesson, I decided, you know what, fuck it. I have 120 gigabytes at the time. I had 120 gigabytes. I'm just going to install all my games to make sure that I don't lose them. So I did. So that's why I need all the memory. And I filled up that freaking hard drive. And my old hard drive is right here. Get to those games in a second. My old hard drive is right here, if you can see it or not. But basically, I took apart my hard drive. Oh man, you can't really see that well. I took apart my hard drive and I put it into the Xbox, and I transferred all my memory from the old hard drive to my 16 gigabyte flash drive. Filled up 16 gigabytes of it, or a little bit less because you need to format it. And then I turn it off, put the new hard drive in, blah, 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 repeat, repeat, repeat. If you have any questions, just ask me. But I got all my memory and all my savings and all in my account and everything on here. No problem. So now I have 250. So moving on. Forza Motorsport 3. I'm a big car guy. If you can see in my last videos about the BMW and the Daihatsu, then Forza Motorsport 3 is an awesome game. Very good racing simulator, even though GT5 fanboys and fangirls will say, no, that's just a game. Gran Turismo 5 is a simulator. I can agree with that. Gran Turismo 5 is an awesome game, but I don't have a PlayStation 3, so I'm going to have to settle on this. And this is also a very, very, very good game. Forza Motorsport 4 I still do not have, but I really want, because I love Top Gear. If you don't know what Top Gear is, definitely recommend watching it if you're a car guy. But if you're a car guy, you probably already know what that is. So, Test Drive Unlimited 2. This game has received a lot of criticisms. I personally really enjoy this game. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second, I forgot. Huh. Dragon Ball Raging Blast 2, I give this game a 7 out of 10. Battlefield Bad Company 2, I give this 8.5 out of 10. Grand Theft Auto 4, I'd give this a 9 out of 10, just in terms of stuff you can do, in my opinion. Forza Motorsport 3, a 9 out of 10. Test Drive Unlimited 2, let me get back to that. This game has received a lot of criticisms for the terrible engine noises and a lot of bugs and stuff like that. And I can understand that, but you know what? I've really enjoyed this game. I love the fact that you can play in Ibiza, Spain, and Hawaii, and it's just a lot of ground to cover in a car. You can go exploring, find stuff. I really enjoy that. It's pretty much like The Sims, except with cars and more badass. I don't really like The Sims that much, you know? But this game I really enjoyed, and I hope the third game is going to be better. But this game I really enjoyed a lot. Tiger Woods PGA Tour 11. Oh, this game I give I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10, just because of all the bugs and the terrible engine noises that the cars make. But other than that, whatever. Tiger Woods PGA Tour 11. It's just a golfing game. The music in this game is really good, and it's just a relaxing golfing game. You know, gameplay is golf. Not a lot of people like to play golf on a video game. I don't really like to either, but when I'm in the mood, I play it. I give this game a 6 out of 10. LA Noire. Oh my freaking Jesus. This game is amazing. Even though Rockstar did not make it, they only published it. This game is fantastic. I forgot the name of the technology that they used, but the technology to capture the person's face and all the expressions, that is the most revolutionary thing since the Kinect itself that I've seen in a game, in my opinion. This game is fantastic. Fantastic. It comes on the 360, it comes on 3 CDs, and PS and PlayStation fanboys are going to be saying, oh yeah, well, at least it comes on 1 CD on the PlayStation 3. Well, I don't care. Okay, so you need to switch your CDs. I honestly don't care. But this game is fantastic. You play as a detective, you're solving crimes, you're looking for clues, you're seeing if people lie, you drive around 1947 Los Angeles. 95% of it, I think I've heard, has been faithfully recreated. Awesome game. I give this game a 9 out of 10. Definitely a 9 out of 10. The reason I don't give this a 10 out of 10 is the fact that not a lot more downloadable content is going to be coming out for it. And just basically the reason that I'm giving this a 9 out of 10 is because they're not making any more content for this. I'd give this thing a 10 out of 10. It's very good. In fact, you know what? I will. Fuck it. I'm going to give this thing a 10 out of 10. This is an awesome game. Very good story. Very good gameplay. You play as a cop, but do not let that ruin the fun. Hitman Blood Money. I downloaded this game. I played it. I sort of liked it, but then it got boring really fast. You know, it's just... This is a game where it has too many options on what you can do for gameplay, in my opinion. Once you know an option and you stick to it, it sort of gets boring and you have to try other ones. And I just don't have the patience for that, in my opinion. I like it. It's not a bad game. But for me, I'm going to give this game a 5 out of 10, just because I just didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would. I haven't even beaten it yet. I only have 2 achievements, but I like the game. I mean, it was okay. I'm not going to delete it or anything like that, but whatever. Oblivion. Now, as you can see by the number of achievements that I have on this game, you can probably tell that I do not like this game, and you are right. The reason I do not like this game is, first of all, the main reason why I stopped playing this fucking game, and it was a good game, but it was ruined in my opinion for this, is the leveling up system. It is too fucking complicated. This thing will rape you up the dick. I hate the leveling up system in this game. You have to do everything perfectly, and then you have to go to bed for it to actually level up. You know? Just do da-na-na-na, you leveled up. Oh no, your character's probably evolving. No, that's just Pokemon. Well, yeah, of course that's just Pokemon, but whatever. Oblivion, I didn't enjoy. The gameplay was pretty good. The map was excellent. The characters, I didn't like the characters at all. It only has like 3 voice actors for all the characters, and I just didn't enjoy that. It was an okay game. I give this game, you know what? Just because of that leveling up system and the bad graphics comparatively, even though it came out earlier, I still don't really like the graphics. That's probably picky, but I give this game a 5 out of 10. It's not a bad game, but you know, the little speech mini game that you have to play, I never understood that. Leveling up, I never understood that. It was just tedious and time consuming, this game, and you didn't feel like you got rewarded. Skyrim, I don't know. I might get it because I heard that the leveling up system was a lot easier for Skyrim, so I might get Skyrim. But let's see what happens. Shift 2 Unleashed. This game is probably one of the worst games I've ever owned compared to Forza or Gran Turismo 5. Need for Speed, do not make any more of these games. You suck at this. I'm sorry. You're good at illegal street racing. That is your home turf, and you're very good at that. And at Hot Pursuit and everything like that. But this game sucks. It's not a simulator at all, in my opinion. I do not like it. Shift 2 Unleashed. It's just not a good game. Dragon Ball Raging Blast, it's an okay game, but I prefer Raging Blast 2. So, and this game I'm gonna give this game like a 4 or a 3 out of 10. I hated Shift 2 Unleashed. Dragon Ball Raging Blast is an okay game, but Dragon Ball Raging Blast 2 is much better, so I'm gonna give this game a 6 out of 10, but it was still good, it was still playable when I still had it, but once I got DB Raging Blast 2, I just replaced it. Dead Rising 2 is an okay game as well. I didn't it was an okay game, you know, just run around killing zombies with any weapon that you can find, pretty much. But for me, it got boring, sort of, a lot. So, and the story mode wasn't that great, so I stopped playing it. The last time I played it was on the 7th of 2011, which wasn't that far away, but I might pick it up again. But it's not a bad game. I give this game a 7 out of 10. Saints Row 2, this game, and Saints Row, which I also have. I'm just going to start out by saying I give this game a 2 out of 10, and I give Saints Row 1 a 1 out of 10. I hate Saints Row. Saints Row is such a Grand Theft Auto clone, and people will be like, oh, no shit, Sherlock. Of course it's a Grand Theft Auto clone, but I don't like it. It's not fun for me, and it's supposed to be more fun. It's supposed to sacrifice realism for more fun. It wasn't fun for me. It was boring as hell. The map isn't as big. And I complain about the map from Grand Theft Auto 4. I think that's too small. You know, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, that had a perfectly sized map. Test Drive Unlimited 2 had a perfectly sized map. Just Cause 2 had a very nice, very, very excellent sized map, even though I don't own that game. And Red Dead Redemption has an awesomely sized map, but this thing is just tiny. You can't really do much here. You can't really go that much places. As far as I've found, I just didn't enjoy the game at all. The gameplay was decent, but it's just, it just bored me. Completely bored me. I hated Saints Row 2 and Saints Row, the worst decision I've ever made since buying an Xbox. And you might disagree with me on that, and you might say one of my favorite games is the worst decision. But I'll just expect that. Dead Rising 2 Case West, I have not played this, but I will. So I can't really say anything about that. Saints Row, it sucks. Saints Row 2 was was a lot better than Saints Row 1, but I still didn't like both of them at all. Saints Row the Third, I will not be buying that because after being so disappointed, in my opinion, from those 2 games, I'm not a loyal customer. Red Dead Redemption is an awesome, fantastic game. This game is badass, again, made by Rockstar. Rockstar knows their shit, so does BioWare. Rockstar and BioWare are my 2 favorite video game things. I forgot what they're called. But Red Dead Redemption is an awesome game. Undead Nightmare is also very good. Definitely recommend it if you're going to be getting Red Dead Redemption. This game is fantastic. Let me use my other hand. It's fantastic, this game. Very, 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 very good story mode. Very well put together. So I definitely recommend it if you want it. A good adventure game for a good story and good shooting around. Grand Theft Auto in the Wild West, but it's a good Wild West. Don't be fooled just because, oh, there's no cars and shit, you can't do anything. Well, that's not entirely true, and you can still do a lot of shit, and it's really fun, this game. Definitely recommend it. This game gets a 9 out of 10. The reason that I don't give it... Wait a second. The reason that I don't give it a 10 out of 10 is because of the ending. I'm not going to tell anything, but the ending was such a kick in the balls. So if you don't know this game, you don't know the ending, then whatever. But I'm going to give this actually a 9.5 out of 10, just because the ending deserves only half a point. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. This is Need for Speed's home territory, not fucking race simulators. Okay? Race simulators are for Forza and Gran Turismo, not Need for Speed. Hot Pursuit, chasing cops. This is a very, very, very awesome game. I definitely recommend it. I love the fact that it has a Ford Crown Victoria in it. So let's get this. I love Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. Definitely recommend it. I give this game a 9 out of 10. Pinball, I have no fucking clue what that is. Fallout New Vegas, another awesome game. I definitely prefer this a ton, shit, fuck, a lot more than, I just said a lot of swear words, didn't I? A lot more than Oblivion. Oblivion can suck this thing's ass, because this thing is amazingly good. I prefer Fallout 3 in a lot of respects more than Fallout New Vegas, because I prefer Washington D.C. instead of Las Vegas, the Las Vegas thing or the New Vegas thing. But the new gameplay that they added on here, like you can actually see down the sights of a gun and stuff like that, that's really cool. I like that. I enjoy that a lot, and the secret weapons that you can enjoy. I give this game a 9 out of 10. Splinter Cell Conviction. Okay, I'm a huge Splinter Cell fan because I'm a lazy person. It's not like Hitman where you can do a lot of more free stuff, which is really a good idea, and I respect that. But Splinter Cell Conviction is more linear, but I sort of prefer that. Splinter Cell Conviction is an awesome game, but it isn't Splinter Cell. They shouldn't have called it Splinter Cell. Splinter Cell is a lot more... The original Splinter Cell and Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, those were my favorites, especially Chaos Theory. That is the ultimate Splinter Cell. This is not Splinter Cell. It is stealthy, but it's just cover-based shooting. You know, which every game is cover-based fucking shooting, and I'm getting tired of it. But, and so is Mass Effect. Mass Effect is also cover-based shooting, but again, there's story. That's why I said the gameplay wasn't perfect. I don't really like cover-based shooting, but anyway, I digress. Splinter Cell Conviction is an awesome game. I really enjoyed it, even though it isn't Splinter Cell. The shooting is fantastic. The stealth is mediocre, but whatever. It isn't Splinter Cell. It says Splinter Cell, but it just isn't Splinter Cell for me. But it's an awesome game. I'd recommend it if you're looking for something to rent or anything like that. Bully Scholarship Edition. I downloaded this thing and I played it through. I haven't beaten it yet, but this is another awesome game by Rockstar in my opinion. I really like it. A lot of shit to do, and it's just a fantastic game. You know, it probably doesn't sound like much. I mean, Bully Scholarship Edition, but oh, I give this game. I keep forgetting. Damn it! I give this game an 8 out of 10. Bully Scholarship Edition, I give this game also an 8 out of 10. It's not perfect, the graphics suck, even though the Bully Scholarship Edition has improved graphics from the original Bully, but it's still not great, but it's not bad at all. Very good characters, Rockstar knows their shit about characters, very good gameplay, and it's just amazing. Okay, so, Borderlands. I got the Game of the Year edition of Borderlands. And so that means I have all the DLC packs. And it isn't a bad shooter, but it isn't a story mode. It is not a story mode at all. I have not, the last time I played this was in May, and I had to delete something on my hard drive to have more space, so I just deleted this, and with a couple of other games. It's a very good shooter. A lot of fun as a shooter, but as a story mode, it is not good at all. As Ben is this his name Ben? I don't know. As Yahtzee said on Zero Punctuation, the story mode and Borderlands are just like little tassels that you put on the handlebars. They're just there for show. It's not really interactive or anything that good. But the shooting part is very good. Battlefield 1943. This is the best arcade game, the best arcade shooter that I've ever played. Because it's cheap and it's not RTS. I hate RTS, real-time strategy. So I hate Halo Wars. I hate all those RTS bullshit games that is just like chess, but a little bit more exciting. I don't like RTS. I like to be down there. I don't like to be in a spaceship eating all the packed lunches, as Yahtzee says. So Battlefield 1943. I give Borderlands. I give this a 7 out of 10. because it's a really good shooter, but it's not great. I think it's repetitive. But Battlefield 1943, for what you pay, and it's an Xbox Live arcade game. I'm gonna give this thing a 7 out of 10 just because of the lack of maps. Need for Speed Undercover. This game a lot of people didn't really like because this game and Need for Speed The Run that just came out, people don't like that much. I like Need for Speed Undercover. I thought it was pretty good. I like the music. The music in Need for Speed Undercover is the best music in any Need for Speed, in my opinion, because it mixes a lot of different genres into one seamless, in my opinion, seamless soundtrack system. Along with Midnight Club LA, that also has a very good soundtrack. This is a very good game if you're into cars. I definitely recommend it. It's not that expensive. I give this game a 8 out of 10. It's not the best Need for Speed I've played, but it's not the worst, and it's far from the worst. The worst is that Shift 2 Unleashed bullshit. That is a terrible game. I hated that one. Mass Effect 2, oh boy. This game, I'm going to start out, I give this game a 10 out of 10. This is my all-time favorite game. This game really changed my life, and I'm having an nerdgasm right here in the Nerd Cave. So, holy shit, Batman, this game is fucking amazing. The story mode is perfect, the characters are perfect, well, except for a few. This game is fantastic. It comes on 2 CDs. It comes on 2 CDs on the Xbox, and I'm assuming 1 on the PlayStation 3, but I don't care. The PS3 only has Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3. It doesn't have the first one, so you don't get the full experience if you're playing it on the PS3. If you're playing it on the PC, sure, which I also have. And if you're playing it on the Xbox, again, you also have the full experience. But whatever, this game is fantastic. The gameplay sort of reminds me of Gears of War because I've played it, but I don't have Gears of War because I do not like Gears of War at all. Gears of War is, as Yahtzee said, it's like putting a fucking Geopet on top of a fridge. That's what the characters look like. I don't like that overly muscular, destroy every fucking single fucking thing. You know, I like a little bit of intelligence in games. Just a little bit, just a sparkle. Not saying that anybody who plays it is retarded or anything like that. It's just I don't like the game. I think it's a stupid game. Gears of War, all of them. So Mass Effect 2, 10 out of 10. I love it. Interactive storytelling. This thing has, I've heard this thing has 75 different endings, but they're not like huge different endings. Just like if you made a decision, then that'll be that decision, however small it may be, and it'll get carried over to the third game. Very awesome game. Left 4 Dead, a very, very good shooter for survival, for zombie survival. I haven't had the second game. I've played the demo. It's really good, but I just haven't gotten it. Left 4 Dead 1 is an amazing game. I definitely recommend it if nobody's ever played it, which I think a lot of people have played it, but this game is fantastic. I definitely recommend it. It's a very good game. I give this game I would give this game an 8 out of 10. An 8 out of 10. The reason it's not perfect is because the second game has a lot more improvements that really downsize the first game, but if it's the first game, just the first game, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. Need for Speed Carbon, I'd give this game a 7 out of 10. It's not a bad game, but it's just sort of annoying. It's not one of the best things that Need for Speed ever made, but it's alright. It's Xbox Live Laugh, I don't know what the hell that is. Halo Reach. Okay, here we go. If you're still watching this video and you're a Halo fanboy, well, or fangirl, well, then I'm sorry, but this game fucking sucks. Halo Reach, Halo 3 and Halo Reach and Halo Wars are the worst pieces of crap for story, quote, for story I have ever played. Online, it's decent, but I much prefer other online games. The only reason that I got this steaming pile is because everybody else would have gotten it and nobody would have been online to play something else, so I decided, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to get it. I'm going to pre-order it so I can get as much as I can out of this. And the last time I played this was on February of this year, of 2011. I do not like this game. The story mode, almost all the characters are bricks. They have the same type of voice, the gravelly badass voice that gets very tiring. And that chick that's on your team looks like Mandark from Dexter's Laboratory. She has a hot voice, don't get me wrong, but it's still a badass, gravelly voice. Like, ooh, baby, I'm gonna hurt you, or some bullshit like that. It's so stereotypical, this game. For stereotypical in terms of badass characters, you know? Badass. You know, the only characters that I like from this are Sergeant Johnson and Cortana. Master Chief can suck my ass. I hate Master Chief. I do not like Master Chief. I do not like Master Chief. I give this game a 6 out of 10 because the online isn't bad. Multiplayer isn't bad, but I don't think a game should be supported only by its multiplayer. The story mode on this game was just said, okay, we put this here, we put this there, okay, there we go. Now the story's gone, now let's focus on the multiplayer. You know, story was just an afterthought, and I don't like that as an afterthought. I like it to be the same, or just a little bit afterthought, but I just didn't enjoy this game. You know, it gets boring really fast, and there's a lot of hackers. So, I didn't like Halo. The only Halo that I like is the original one, because I have a lot of respect for that game, because it started the whole revolution. Halo 4 that's coming out, that isn't going to be made by Bungie, I'm curious to see what they do, but I'm probably not going to be buying it, because it's just probably going to be the same. Crappy story, very decent online multiplayer capabilities. So I don't like Halo. That's just my opinion. Fallout 3, very good game. It was improved on in Fallout New Vegas, but I prefer the map and music to this one than the one to Fallout New Vegas. But the gameplay, I prefer Fallout New Vegas. I give this game an 8.5 out of 10, just because it's really epic. Hectic H, I don't know what the fuck that is. Tiger Woods PGA Tour, it just replaced, this one was replaced by Tiger Woods PGA Tour 11. This is the 09 one, and it's okay, it's a golf game. Ace Combat 6, I give this like a 5 out of 10. Ace Combat 6, very good fighter jet game, and I recommend it if you like that sort of stuff. I wouldn't recommend buying it. I'd recommend renting it because you get bored with this, but not fast, but I got bored with it and I just sold it, you know. But it's a really, really good game. I had Ace Combat 4, and I enjoyed it. I had it for the PS2. It was a great game. Awesome, fantastic, great game. This is also awesome, fantastic, great game, but it's just really boring after a while. But it's still good. I give Ace Combat 6 a 8 out of 10. No, 7.5 out of 10 better. Tekken 6, I give Tekken 6 right now, I give this thing a 3 out of 10. I hate Tekken 6. I really, and you might understand it, but I don't understand what the big fuss is. Why do people like this game? It's a boring game. It's just, but the fights are way too short. You can hardly find anybody online to play it with. There's a lot of fucking glitches in this game. The character customization is pretty good, but it costs a lot of money for some shit that you really want. And the gameplay is just atrocious compared to over-the-shoulder fighters. This is just scrolling side-to-side fighters. I hate that. I really do. Game Room, that's a bunch of crap. I didn't like the Game Room. 1 versus 100, not really officially a game per se, but I love this. I do not understand why they don't bring this thing back. 1 versus 100 was awesome. I loved 1 versus 100. Every Friday I played it. Awesome game. It was on every Friday and every Wednesday. I played it every Friday. This was a fantastic game. It's too bad that they left it. I hope it comes back. And if it does, I am going to shit my pants. I really love 1 versus 100. 1 versus 100, just for the fact that you can play with your friends and see how retarded each one of you are, I'd give this game a 9.5 out of 10. Because there isn't much gameplay, but just the fact that I really thoroughly enjoyed it. Forza Motorsport 2, it's just a downgrade from Forza Motorsport 3. It's a very good game, but Forza Motorsport 3 definitely was an upgrade, and Forza 4 is definitely an upgrade, so I'd recommend it. Forza 3, I'd recommend it. Forza 4, definitely. Forza 2, I'd rather get Forza 3, but this was also a very good game. Definitely recommend it. Halo 3. I'm gonna give this game a 3 out of 10. It's just the story mode was better on this one. I haven't even played ODST, and even Halo fanboys and fangirls say that that game was bad. So if people like Halo 3 and Halo Reach, and people who like those two games don't like ODST, I'm not even gonna try to see what the story mode is on that. The story mode on Halo 3 was so bad, and it's not even as bad as Halo Reach, but the story mode on Halo 3 was so bad that people know that when they released Halo ODST, they said, you know what, fuck it. We're just going to give you a disc for Halo 3, for the Halo 3 online multiplayer. Fuck the story. You guys don't care about the story because it sucks. So you can sell Halo 3 and earn yourself a little money, but you can keep a disc for multiplayer, you know? So fuck the story mode. The story mode sucks. So you can just keep the online. So they didn't even care about their own story. Because if they did, then they wouldn't have included a multiplayer disc, just so you can play Halo 3 multiplayer. So yeah, it's just a multiplayer game, and I don't really like it. It's just me. That's just the basic point of it. It's multiplayer, and the multiplayer is decent. I don't really enjoy it, and that's pretty much it. These two games were the first games that I ever had on the 360 because these came with my Xbox Elite when I bought it new in 2009. The Falcon chip version with 120 gigs. Fable 2 is the very first game I've ever played on the 360, and when I played it, I shit my pants. It was amazing because of the graphics, because you have to understand that I had a GameCube and a PS2 before, and to see better graphics, I was like, wow, this is really neat, you know? The control feels good in my hand. Innuendo, I guess. But this game was pretty decent but after thinking about it, it sucks, because after you beat it, there's nothing else to do. Absolutely nothing else to do. So I give Fable 2, I give that game a 5 out of 10, because even though there wasn't anything to do, the gameplay, when you still had stuff to do, wasn't all that great. So that's pretty much it on my thing. You can leave your opinions and stuff like that on which game was your favorite of mine, or which game is your favorite, or which game you recommend. And please don't leave any hateful comments or anything like that. And I'm asking you, so if you do it, that means you don't have any life, you know. If you disagree with something that I say, then just tell me in constructive criticism, or just tell me flat out, but don't do it in a rude way, please. And if you do, it's just probably going to be trolls, and I'm probably just not going to feed them. I'm just going to block them. But that's all my games, pretty much, that I have. I also have a couple of original Xbox games. I have the original Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow, the original Splinter Cell 1 and Chaos Theory, and I have Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, but I have to re-download that game. But all very good games. So that's my video, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you haven't, well, sorry. But that's all I have to say. So, bye. I'm waving right now. Oh man, this thing, I'm sorry, this Kinect is badass. Oh yeah, and I also have Kinect Adventures before I finish. I haven't played it yet, but I have a feeling that it's going to be pretty good. It's going to be really gimmicky, and I know I'm probably going to get bored of the Kinect in the future, but right now, this is badass. I'm sorry, this is futuristic shit right here. So, I'm probably going to post a review on how Kinect Adventures is. But in the meantime, this is EC888 shining out of YouTube the day before Christmas at 7:30. So I hope you enjoy the video and my games and my